have a wonderful person with me. I just want to tell you 1953 में ब्रैम्पटन एक गांव की मानंद था. It was just a village. और घरों में आग लगा करती थी, लकड़ी के घर हुआ करते थे. उस वक्त के रिहायशियों ने वॉलंटियर वर्क के तौर पर कुछ लोगों ने इकट्ठे हो गए कि जब घर जलता है, घर तो जलता है, बड़ा नुकसान होता है, मगर उस घर से मुल्हिका जो घर हैं उनमें भी आग लगती है, उनमें भी बहुत सारा नुकसान होता है. तो इमदाद बाहमी के तहत जो ब्रैम्पटोनियंस थे उन्होंने आग पर काबू पाने की कोशिश करने की कोशिश शुरू की. 1882, आप समझिए 100-125 साल पीछे चले जाएं, 140 साल के करीब आप पीछे चले जाएं. 1882 में द फर्स्ट पर्सन जेम्स गोल्डन उनका नाम था. जेम्स गोल्डन भी ब्रैम्पटन के रहायशी थे. बुनियादी तौर पर इनकी एक बेकरी थी, बेकरी को आग लग गई थी. आग लगने के बाद इन्होंने फिर एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल को तश्कील दिया. अगर हम रिकॉर्ड को देखते हैं तो ब्रैम्पटन के रिकॉर्ड के मुताबिक जो पहले फायर चीफ थे ना, वो जेम्स गोल्डन थे. बेसिकली ही ओन्ड अ बेकरी में आग लग गई थी. एंड ऑफ कोर्स फिर इन लोगों ने, अब इनका उस ज़माने में बाकायदा तौर पे इनको अपॉइंट किया गया था. इनका क्या काम था कि सिटी काउंसिल को इन्फॉर्म किया करते थे कि अगर कहीं आग लगी है तो कितने वॉलंटियर्स वहाँ पे पहुँचे, उन्होंने आग पर काबू पाया, जिस घर में आग लगी है कितने लोग उस आग से मुतासर हुए, इन तमाम चीज़ों से वो सिटी काउंसिल को इन्फॉर्म किया करते थे. ये 1882 की बात है. बहरहाल वक्त तरक्की करता गया. 1974, नॉट वेरी फार, मतलब बहुत दूर की बात नहीं है, 1974 में सूबाई जो लेजिस्लेशन बाकायदा हमारे प्रोविंशियल लेजिस्लेशन के मुताबिक जो फायर का एक डिपार्टमेंट यहाँ पर वजूद में आया. और इसके बाद साहब बस आप समझ लीजिएगा, आज जिनसे मैं बात करवाने लगी हूँ आपके साथ, ब्रैम्पटन फायर चीफ बिल बॉयल इनका नाम है. Bill Boyes. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much, Majid Jamal. Thank you very much. Bill Boyes मेरे साथ हैं. इस वक्त 550 फायर फाइटर्स इनके तहत काम कर रहे हैं. इनकी PhD कर रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ टोरंटो, ओंटारियो इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ स्टडीज़ इन एजुकेशन. और यकीनन इनकी तालीम और ये तमाम चीज़ें मिलने के बाद ब्रैम्पटन के रहायशियों का कितना फ़ायदा होगा. जैसा मैंने आपसे पहले शेयर किया प्रोग्राम के शुरू में कि वो कहते हैं कि फायर चीफ ऑफ द ईयर का इनको अवार्ड मिला. और ये फायर चीफ ऑफ द ईयर का जो अवार्ड है कैनेडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ फायर चीफ एंड फायर अंडरराइटर्स सर्वे ऑफ कैनेडियन के तहत इनको दिया गया. आई वेलकम our Brampton Fire Chief Bill Boyes. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. I have my associate Majid Jamal here with me. Now, first of all, I welcome you to the station. And I was this is in the Forbes. It says that our mayor has done a great job. Out of 300 cities, Brampton is 98th number. And there was a survey. I was going through this survey. It was very encouraging, and of course, good for the Bramptonians. It's a good news for the Bramptonians. Now, we in the fire department in Brampton, in last few days or in weeks, I have seen some worst fires in Brampton. So would you mind to add something on it?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, over the past couple of weeks, we have had some significant fires in the city, and just about a week and a half ago, now almost 2 weeks, we had a tragic fire where 3 young boys lost their lives, and our hearts just go out to the family, and it's such a sad thing. But I think today, one thing I'd love to speak about, if I had the opportunity, was just the importance of fire safety and how important fire prevention is to everyone that's listening, whether they live in Brampton or across Ontario. It's so important that we be aware of the fire risks and fire dangers in our home, and I'm happy to be here today to speak about that. And if I could pass along some really, really key things that everybody listening, if you're at home right now, I encourage you, go check your smoke alarm. You should have a working smoke alarm on every story of your home, and it should be outside of where you sleep, along with a working carbon monoxide alarm. And we're asking, once you're done here listening please go push the button. It should beep. If it doesn't beep, you need to change the battery and or possibly replace the unit, especially if it's over 10 years old.
Thank you very kindly, and I appreciate that Brampton Fire Department is trying to approach all the ethnic community by advertising or by announcing what is important for your family about fire safety. You always listen these commercials. Now, what are the general safety one must follow? You said one is the check your fire alarms. Anything else?
Yeah, so number one, check your smoke alarm. Make sure it works. It should be outside of your sleeping areas. Make sure you have a carbon monoxide alarm as well. Those are two critical things to have. The other thing that we're really trying to get everyone in the city of Brampton to understand is that you need to plan with your family or those that you live with. If you do hear that alarm, make sure everybody knows what to do. So as soon as that alarm goes off or you sense a fire, you need to get outside, call 911 and stay outside. We don't want anyone to try to stay in and put the fire out or try to look for belongings. Please get outside, have a meeting place for your family so that you all meet, at the end of your driveway or on a tree, at a tree in your front yard or somewhere where when the firefighters pull up, they can see that you're out safe and sound. We just really want to make sure that you're safe, and we don't want to see anyone get hurt or killed in any kind of fire in the city of Brampton or anywhere in Ontario.
Chief Belbois, my concern is there any way that in the winter these fires are more as compared to the summer, or what it is? Is there, if this winter makes any difference?
Yeah, some things that we really want everybody to be aware of in winter is sometimes people use those portable heaters inside their home, and you really have to make sure they're at least 1 meter away from anything that can burn. So make sure if you do happen to use a space heater that there's lots of space around it, because those can get so hot if they're close to something, they could start a fire. The other thing that we see a lot of is it's cold outside, and some people may want to barbecue inside their garage. Please, 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 barbecues must be used outside in the open air. And the other thing that we're seeing a little bit of a trend with is that people will tend to smoke cigarettes in their garage, and then they place the cigarette butts in a garbage can. And we've seen some fires that start because people are putting cigarettes out in a container that's not meant for it. So please make sure those cigarette butts are extinguished in a little pail of water, and so that they don't inadvertently start a fire anywhere in your home or in your garage.
Very useful. I never thought about that barbecue I never did it though. In the garage can result in the fire, and of course those who smoke sometime they don't smoke in the home, वो garage में जाके smoke करते हैं, तो कोशिश करें कि उसको बुझाएं. Another thing what chief told is कि जो आप heater on करते हैं, and I swear to God I never thought about it. Yes, we are cautious definitely कि अगर आप heater लगाते हैं तो heater का distance इतना रखें 1 मीटर का, कम से कम उसके करीब कोई चीज़ नहीं होनी चाहिए कि अगर हीटर आग पकड़ लेगा और वो फिर आग सेकंड्स के बीच में आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल हो जाती है. So I think all this information, Chief, I am very the fire department is taking all the precautionary measures, informing the ethnic community. Have you ever tried to approach the young students and young people in the community, visiting their school, visiting at the community centers, in educating young people? Because elders like us in the ethnic community, we turn off sometime our fire alarms because when we cook our chapati or cook something, it burns and it beeps a lot. So did you ever do those drills educating the young people to make sure that your alarms are on and what precautionary measures they should take?
Yeah, it's a great point. And one of the things that we really focus a lot of our efforts on educating the public is actually getting out to schools. We go to schools on a regular basis. We try to get to as many schools as possible. And we try to talk to everyone from, kindergarten to grade 8 and high school students, and even those in university. We just really want to communicate the importance of fire safety and the dangers of when fires happen. And if we can get their parents or the kids to go home and speak to their parents and say, Mom or Dad, I heard a presentation today about a smoke alarm. Where's our smoke alarm? Can we check it? It's something that you can do as a family. You can plan that escape path that I mentioned earlier. As a family, it's a great activity for kids. It will help them stay safe. It's so important to teach the kids, because as they grow older, we want to instill that fire safety behavior in them. And we don't want to, as I said earlier, see anybody get hurt or injured in a fire ever. And we really do need everybody's help. All those people that are listening today, it really takes a whole community to be fire safe. We have a tremendous group of firefighters that are dedicated to serving the community, but we do need everybody's help to check their alarms, make sure they know what to do in event of a fire, and be very safe. Most fires are always preventable, so we do need your help too.
Thank you very much, and I believe educating a child is educating generations. These children, they definitely make a difference, and fire department is doing their effort in that respect as well. Brampton, it's a diverse community. What is the major cause of fire in Brampton?
Brampton is really no different than most of Ontario in terms of causes of fire. And we have three main causes, and number one that we see the most is unattended cooking. So people get very, very busy in their lives. People are on their cell phones. They're trying to cook dinner for their family. They're trying to work and do virtual meetings. But one thing we see is unattended cooking. So people aren't paying attention to the pot on the stove, and that ends up catching, the kitchen on fire. And in today's homes, the fires, when they start, they burn so hot and so fast, you have so little time to escape. So we really, really want everybody, if they're in their home cooking, please pay attention to what you're doing. Be careful with things on the stove. Make sure you always keep an eye on it. And the other thing, as I mentioned earlier, is we're seeing more and more garage fires, and people, whether barbecuing in the garage or smoking in the garage and not putting it out properly. Those are two things that people can just make sure they don't happen by being careful, disposing of their cigarettes properly, or just barbecuing outside in the side yard or the backyard and not indoors.
Beautiful. Now, I have one thing. It's a very good profession. Now, sometimes we achieve what we want to, and we think everything is done. But you are fire chief in Brampton, and along with that, you are doing your PhD. What motivated you to do PhD along with your this profession? Are you not satisfied enough that you have achieved what you wanted to?
You know what? I'm a real big believer in lifelong learning, and you know what? I was very fortunate when I got on the fire department that they encouraged me to continue with my education. I started as a brand new firefighter in Brampton back in 2004, and I completed my university degree, and I ended up doing a master's degree, and now I'm on to my PhD at the University of Toronto. And the city of Brampton has been so supportive of that. And my colleagues in the fire services, and I really think that lifelong learning is so important. And one of the things I think that it helps is it helps me do better every day. We serve a very growing, diverse community, and I want to provide the best service that I possibly can to the city of Brampton, and we want to have the best fire department in not only Canada but really across the world. And I think by continuously learning and reading and challenging yourself, it makes you better. And I think when you're better, that we end up serving our residents better. And you know what? I truly do care about this community. I've served my whole career here. I'm very passionate about the people. We have an amazing city, amazing people that make up the city of Brampton. So I'm just very honored to serve the city of Brampton.
Thank you very kindly, sir. Thank you very kindly, and I look forward to seeing you a wonderful golden badges uniform officer in our office one day in the studio. And thank you very kindly for your time, and definitely we will, if we can have somebody while you are on the air, I would request if somebody with the language Urdu, Hindi or Punjabi, just to educate people over the air that what, as you said today, what are the small little things what people can do to avoid these fires at home. If you can allocate somebody, or you can tell us about somebody who can speak their own language and just convey this message from the department, and we look forward to seeing you here in our studio one day in future.
That sounds great. I will be there, and I will bring our Division Chief of Fire Life Safety, who will definitely be able to help convey that message. So thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Look forward talking to you again. Thank you very kindly. And this is Brampton's Fire Chief Bill Boyes.